Guus Hiddink, welcome to Australia. Welcome to SBS. Congratulations on the appointment.
Thank you very much.
John O'Neill said in a recent interview that Australia wanted Guus Hiddink and Guus Hiddink wanted Australia. Why did you want Australia?
First of all, I have the experience of doing two World Championships, one with Holland in France, '98, and 2002 in Korea. So it's a tremendous experience to do so. And I know that some countries, they love to go there, as I am loving to go there for a third consecutive time. When Australia made the approach to me, I was thinking, hey, maybe there's a chance to make some miracle happen. And it would be a miracle, I think, but not impossible to get the third time the chance to go there.
John O'Neill also said that he was very impressed by the level of knowledge that you already had of the Australian team and its players. What is your observation of the Australian team?
Yeah, that's I want to know in detail. My knowledge now is general, of course, because players are playing in Europe. A lot of Australian players are in Europe. Of course, there are players playing in Australia as well. And we won't forget them, also young players. But my knowledge now at this moment is general, but I'm working on every day, looking to DVDs and talking to people, and also when possible to meet as soon as possible the players.
You had enormous success in Korea, which is a country of a distinctive culture. It has a very regimented culture, obedient culture. Australia has a different kind of culture. Are you confident that you can adapt your methods to the Australian way of life? Or the Australian mentality, shall we say?
Well, I think so, first of all, but it's talking in general. I know Australian people in general and sportsmen in general are very committed to what they are doing, whether it's swimming or whatever, or other kinds of sports. But in football, I think players are very committed, which I have seen so far playing. That was one of the things that took my attention. Seeing DVDs, there was a lot of commitment in the game. So I don't have a bad feeling that I would not fit in this culture. I have worked with a lot of other cultures, and I think this open mentality, this open mind to commit themselves to their goals, that suits to me as well.
You no doubt sized up the Australian performance in the Confederations Cup. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, I haven't seen it live, but I've seen it on television, parts of. When you see the games, Germany, Argentina, for instance, and also Tunisia, that sometimes, my opinion, and I start to be technically already, is that the commitment is very high, but then I think we can improve on tactical level as well, what I saw in general. But that's why I'm longing to see the group as soon as possible to work on various issues.
On the subject of tactics, Australia has grappled with a number of playing systems in the last few years. Went from 4-4-2 to 4-3-3 or 4-5-1, and it seemed to be in a dilemma in Germany as to which way it wants to head. As a coach, what is your favourite system, or what is the system that you think Australia can
well, first of all, I never, when I came in a new situation like this, I never fixed to one particular system. I think you have to look what kind of players you have first, and then make the good system. And also now in modern football, I think players has to know and to dominate more systems than just one rigid, let's say 4-4-2 or whatever. I always want a team playing who is thinking in what do I have to do in possession of the ball and when we don't have the possession. So, and that doesn't mean that you can fix to one system. I think flexibility nowadays is very important, whether you play with 3 strikers, whether you play with 2 strikers. That's for me key in the modern game.
Is that the Dutch influence in your upbringing as a coach? The flexibility, the adaptability, versatility.
Yeah, but I like my team to control the game, to dominate the game, and to take a lot of initiatives. So when I took over Korea, it was a very defensively orientated team. They looked for security way back, and they stayed with 6-7 players behind and very close to their own goal, and that's for me a false security. I like players and I like the team advancing in the pitch, and I think it's fitting to the mentality of Australian players as well.
Your first move, even before you were officially appointed, was to cancel the game on August 16 against Colombia. Can you explain why?
Yeah, we talked recently about the program until the crucial games in November, and there was a proposal made to play friendly games against Colombia in August. But I think when you play that in between 2 league games in various leagues in Europe, I think it's not suitable first, because players are in those games having a little time to practice together, and I am new and they are new for me, so I have the preference to go with them 3-4 days and make a lot of training sessions, a lot of team meetings on the pitch, off the pitch, and so they know me, that they know how I like to play, and I have the opportunity to know them, and I think this to be preferred when you play a game. And second reason is that in the qualification in November, it might be possible to play one of those teams. And but the main reason for me is to know the players and to practice in those 3-4 days.
Will you be sparring with some low-grade opponents, playing training matches during that camp?
No, not at that moment. I think we can spar among the team itself. If it's not good, I think to practice against an amateur team or low-rated team. I think we have players, and that's why it's good to see also some young players coming in from Australia. We are now making the selection to bring in also some young players with promising talent, so I can see them also.
If there is one question mark over your appointment, it is the fact that it is seen as a part-time appointment, that you'll need to pay a lot of attention to PSV over there and then look after Australia and take it to the World Cup on the other side. A lot of people are puzzled by this. How will it work exactly?
Well, I think it will work out perfectly. First of all, in Eindhoven, I'm technical director, and I have 2 terrific, I don't call them assistant coaches, I call them coaches who can do a lot of work which I don't have to do on the pitch. The same is here in Australian Federation, that Graham Arnold has become from part-time full-timer. He is doing a lot of work, but I think it can go very good together, because in the spare time I'm going to look at games as well, because it's centered in Europe, and I think that's why it can be done very well.
How does PSV feel about all this?
Oh, they are happy, and actually, when I made up my contract for 1.5 years, I made one clause that in case of having the chance to go to World Cup or preparation, let's hope we go to World Cup, and preparation towards World Cup, I have the freedom to handle as needed.
Some critics before you were appointed said here in Australia that it was too late to change coaches, to change jockeys so late in the campaign. What would you say to them? You obviously don't think it's too late.
No, it's short, but Australia, don't forget that they qualified for the last time in '74. That's a long time ago, so they have settled a long time with coaches, and I'm very happy. I just for 1 or 2 hours I talked to Frank Farina about the situation as well. I know him, and I called him and to say how the situation is or was, and he was very open and very happy and very respectful to everyone. But once in a time you have to make decisions as a federation, which they did. And preparation time, let's be honest, Australia didn't qualify for almost or more than 30 years. And changing now, let's hope with all the help, and Frank said if you need me, I can be of advice. So it's very open. That's what I like very much, this open mind towards one goal, which is important, which I cannot achieve myself. I can contribute what I have in my knowledge and in my experience, but at the end the players we are selecting, they have to do it, but they get the full support, and I'm very happy with this.
Now, some of the players that will be certainly contending for a place in the squad are based in Australia. Not the large block, but some. But you'll be living in Holland, or you'll be living in Europe. How will you be satisfied that you have full knowledge of the players available from Australia?
Yeah, first of all, I get my knowledge from my coaches, of course, and second, that's why it's good. It's good to have this period in preparation time. The promising player we try to bring into that stage in Holland, and I think that's the ideal situation to get them to know.
Will you be coming back to Australia or this part of the world for the qualifiers against the Solomon Islands?
Of course, of course. All is on FIFA date, and what we agreed also is having let's call it a little office in the Philips Stadium from PSV, from the federation, so we can organize from there on a lot. And of course we are coming full-hearted to the Solomon Games as well.
Let's get finally, Guus, to the prospects ahead. I mean, in November your team is going to face an elite, hardened, intelligent, cunning team which has already played 18 extremely tough, high-pressure qualifying games. You will be going in with a few friendlies, a couple of friendlies maybe, the games against the Solomons. How realistic is it, from where you're standing now, for us to believe that this can be done?
Well, people must not think, because I am here and I have quite an experience in European football and in world football, world championships, that the solution has come. That's not true. The only thing I can do is give my best, my knowledge to that target. And I know also, playing, as you mentioned, against number 5 of South America is tough. The history of Australian football has shown that there was no success in 30 years. Let's not forget that. But every new step that has to be made, you have to go for it. And I think with the players, when I know them even better than I do now, make them very competitive in very difficult circumstances in South America. We are anticipating on that as well, to make them very strong tactically, but also mentally, because I have some experience over there as well, that they do everything what is permitted or a little bit more to get them there very how shall I say, very competitive, to that it will not happen what happened last time, because that was a bad experience over there.
Are you confident, you're happy about your reconnaissance, your knowledge of the prospective South American opponents?
Yeah, of course. I know them, and of course we have a lot of people who can give a lot of information. I myself, we have some South American players in the PSV team as well, so I think how they are thinking, and I know quite a lot of people over there that I try to influence all the situation to our best.
finally, Guus, if all goes well and according to plan, and everything works out, and there are no crippling injuries, and there are no earthquakes, and everything works out, you can work with this team as much as you want. What do you think this team can achieve, given what you've done with Korea?
I did not know that there's a danger of earthquakes in this area.
Maybe in some other part of the world.
You frightened me. so
South
I
America,
better stay in Europe. You are suggesting, I think. No, when all the players are fit, and I know several. When all the players are fit, I think this team is very competitive. The only thing they have to deal with those circumstances, which we talked about, and I think when they can improve a little bit in their not in the mental way, but in their tactical way, we might have a chance to make the impossible possible.
Guus Hiddink, thank you.
Thank you.